Playoff fever has immersed South Florida as we are at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. The winner here goes to the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them. And boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Nix to the air. And this one into the hands of Ingram downfield. Big strides, look at him go. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Evan Ingram, 75 yards. And the Broncos are on the board first here in this AFC Championship game. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Oh, his first throw of this playoff matchup is intercepted. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Was certainly not how they envisioned the start to this when you give up the touchdown and they take a shot on the first play from scrimmage offensively, Charles, but it gets intercepted. Yeah, instead of just trying to nibble and, work your way downfield, they tried to take a nice little chunk there. It didn't pay off for them. Now the defense runs on the field, having already given up a touchdown the first drive, hoping to get their legs under them and slow them down. And all those mistakes, they just seem magnified here in the playoffs. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. It's been a long season, but he still looks fresh running the football. He knows his guys are one game away from a Super Bowl, so he's going to give it all he's got, and that's a heck of a run right there. A quick throw going to be caught by Worthy. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Now a handoff up the middle. Harvey. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. We really didn't have any doubt that he was going to be one of the top-rated rookies coming into the league, especially as a runner. And he's given us no reason to change our minds. That's a big-time run, and the production that he showed us in college is translating very well into the National Football League. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. That's into the hands of Worthy. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 11 yards there, just like last play.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
That's into the hands of Worthy once again. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. On play action, here's Tua. This one thrown underneath to Achane. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
It's complete to Brown, right side. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 42-yard line. Hey! Let's go!
Now Tua. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Tua to throw again. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed. Unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Whoa! Turbo 1 high. Hey. Corner, long. Get on.
They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Quite a decision there on fourth down. They didn't just want the first. They wanted 6 points, and following the interception, they're going to come away with neither.
And that's too bad, partner, because they really went for it on that one, right? Because I think in their mind, sometimes the illogical play is a logical play. But in this case, they were wrong. One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
Throwing Nix. And this is thrown to the sideline. No receiver in the area, though, and that's going to bring out a flag. So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Now Hill to return it. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
Go ahead.
In motion is Westbrook-Ikhine. On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. And a credit to tackle to Brandon Jones. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5.
Hey.
Going to the air. Tagovailoa. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Looking to pass. Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead them to 4th down.
Already up 2 touchdowns. How about that drive killer of a sack there to add to their good play? This offense coming away with no points now when some kind of score was desperately needed.
Tua on 4th down. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Pat Surtain. Past the 20. 5. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Go ahead. 21G. Ready, set?
Up the middle, Achane. He'll be hit down at the 33. 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Go ahead.
They'll run for it with Achane. And he is going to lose lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
You don't see too many cornerbacks coming up with hits like that in the running game. He announced his presence right there and knocked it back for a loss.
Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey, and he's across midfield and into Miami territory. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there. There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
On 1st down, it's Harvey, and he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. Stopped and handed a loss by Willie Gay that time. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. He'll get this complete to Worthy. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Nix. Flush to his right. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. To throw, here's Nix. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by a Fitu Melifonwu. And the Dolphins are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
The drive starts with a run from Achane. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 at the 2-yard line.
All right.
Again, it's Achane. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Go ahead.
Play action. Now it's Tua. They're going deep for Hill. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And the Broncos will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. And, Charles, you know, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
And now they'll shift things around. Here's Nix. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hope they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
To throw is Nix. Throw left side complete. That's Harvey. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And his throw here is incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He gets it complete to A.T. Perry. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Back to the air with Nix. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything.
21G, 21G. Solo left Zion, solo left Zion.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He'll let this go deep for Waddle. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Down the left sideline, and he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half. So we are halfway home to figuring out who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they have work to do in this second half if they want to earn that berth to the Super Bowl.
And I'm pretty sure this is where their coaches at halftime were saying don't panic and then demonstrating it by not making a lot of drastic changes to the game plan. Let's just get back to doing what we've been doing all year long. That should be more than good enough.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And the Broncos get there and take him down. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long.
It's now 3rd down.
Let's go. Long. Out.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 2nd down and 4. Up the middle they go. Harvey. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's McLaughlin. And he is going to lose yardage here. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. An audible here to get a new look. They're going. It's Nix. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it. And the Dolphins are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
After the turnover, it's Tua. And going deep for Hill. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 66 yards. And the Dolphins are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Down the left sideline. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A.T. Perry, 82 yards. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Washington now brings this out. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
From midfield, here's Tua. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Yeah, the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
Hey, 21 TA.
They're going to try and throw. They're going deep for Hill. That is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. On play action, here's Nix. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Harvey. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 57 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey. And the Broncos are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. 1 quarter remains until we crown the AFC champion. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Let's go now.
They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. And that is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And their dream of a Super Bowl berth so close 3 quarters ago, but obviously starting to slip away if it hasn't already. They need points here and in a hurry. Short throw to Smith. Room past the 35 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. The catch and run good for 24 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Tua sets up to pass it. That one complete down the field to Smith. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Tua. And now here's another interception. Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean,